Greetings, I'm Krista Jan Ryan, and you are about to watch a very exciting artist in New England, where we bring to you the artist whose vision has made an impact in the art world. They are all the way, and I'll let them tell you where they're from, but I heard about them from a friend who actually lives up in Belfast, Maine, and, well, actually, she lives in Blue Hill. And she contacted me, and she said, they're on tour, gotta get them. And I thought, okay, I'll try. And this was back, I don't know, Larry, how long ago was it?
I think it was in either January or February.
January or February. Wow, a long time ago. But anyway, without further ado, we have 28 fresh little faces that will wow you. So enjoy the show.
So that was a song from South Africa, a song that we originally learned from our colleague Matlakala Bopape some years ago. And we are Village Harmony, and we are basically a traveling singing summer camp. We draw together wonderful teen singers from across New England and some from further afield, and we rehearse for a week. And then we take our show on the road for about not quite 2 weeks, and so we're at the very end of one of our summer tours, and we have other groups like this that get together at different points during the summer. And we do music, especially from community singing traditions all over the world. Places like South Africa, Bulgaria, Georgia, Appalachian region of the United States, American shape note music, lots of different traditions.
Our next song comes from Zimbabwe. I learned it from my mentor, Shipi Mature. And I learned it at Seke Teachers College outside of Harare. It is a campaign song, a literacy campaign song from the early days of Zimbabwe's independence in the 1980s, and says, warns children that they must go to school or they'll get in trouble.
Mono amai, mono amai, mono amai. songs from the American shape note singing tradition. A couple of new ones and one mid-19th century one. This first one is a song actually called Watergate, named after the Watergate scandal, but it takes a text from an old Isaac Watts hymn, which really talks about how the rich and the mighty get their comeuppance in the end. It's called Watergate.
Oh, oh, what a thoughtless wretch was I to mourn and murmur and repine, to see the wicked placed on high, in pride and robes of honor shine until their end, their dreadful end, thy sanctuary taught me songs.
The next song is a sea shanty, really, or it started as a sea shanty, but then it was taken up by William Walker, the great shape note tune book compiler of the mid-19th century, and he probably made this four-part harmonization for it and put it in his songbook, the Southern Harmony, which was published in the middle of the 19th century. It's called The Sailor's Home. It's a really colorful text.
When for eternal worlds we steer, and seas are calm and skies are clear, and faith in lively exercise, and distant hills of Canaan rise, the soul for joy and claps her wings, and loud her lovely song it sings. I'm going home, I'm going home, and loud her lovely song it sings. I'm going home. With cheerful hope her eyes explore each landmark on the distant shore, the trees of life, the pasture green, the crystal stream, delightful scene. Again for joy she plumes her wings, and loud her lovely song it sings. I'm almost home, I'm almost home, and loud her lovely song it sings. I'm almost home. The nearer still she draws to land, more eager all her cars expand. With steady helm and free men sail, her
Next is another song in the shape note tradition, although this one recently composed. I had the good fortune, I received a research fellowship from Berea College last year, and so I spent a lot of time listening to old field recordings. This song, the melody and words of this song come from a field recording of a woman named Addie Graham from eastern Kentucky. And I set the song in the shape note style for my mother. It's called Vermilion.
Our cheerful voices let us raise and sing a parting song. My friends, I'm with you here today, but cannot tarry long. For I must go and leave you all. It fills my heart with pain, although perhaps we'll part in tears. I hope we'll meet again. We have but yet a few days more before we cross the tide. There's many more has crossed the stream, safe on the other side. Oh, could we hear the trumpet sound, and with the dead arise, and shout and sing as we go up to meet him in the sky, and shout and sing as we go up to meet him in the sky.
Great. We have next for you all a song that's pretty fresh, just written a couple months ago by a dear friend of mine who lives in northern Vermont. Her name's Jen Jones, and this is another homecoming song. It's a song called Lowlands.
I was down in the lowlands where I don't know the stones. Doubt held my mind like a cloud, heart's needle to north, like a bell rung aloud. Mountains are calling
traditional Swedish song with some new harmony arrangements. It'll be sung for you by these lovely women, and the translation for this song is, God, let the sun shine over the mountains blue, over the cowgirls small, as they walk in the woods in the summer.
Limu, good Lord, Sol and Quina, över bergen blå, över kulorna små, som i skogen ska gå, om sommaren. Limu, lima, good Lord, Sol and Quina, över bergen blå, över kulorna små, som i skogen ska gå, om sommaren. Limu, lima, good Lord, Sol and Quina, över bergen blå, över kulorna små, som i skogen ska gå, om sommaren.
Oh, the old chariot.
Oh my goodness. All right. We have next an old song, probably not quite as old as that Swedish one. This one comes from the US and it's been sung in a lot of different ways through the history. It was an old African American spiritual. It was a Salvation Army hymn. It was a work song. It was a parody of the Salvation Army hymn, and I think that's the one that went out to sea and became sea shanty. Roll the old chariot along, and in it, it talks about a drop of Nelson's blood, which is a nickname for some grog. Apparently, Lord Nelson, he died off the coast of Spain in a naval battle, and they sent him home in a barrel of rum to preserve his body. And the sailors helped themselves to a few sips off the barrel, drops of Nelson's blood.
Oh, a drop of Nelson's blood wouldn't do us any harm.
Oh, a drop of Nelson's blood wouldn't do us any harm. Oh, a drop of Nelson's blood wouldn't do us any harm. And we'll all hang on behind. And we'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot
do us any harm.
Oh, a nice fat cook wouldn't do us any harm. Oh, a nice fat cook wouldn't do us any harm. And we'll all hang on behind. And we'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. And we'll all hang on behind.
We'd be all right if we weren't a pack of fools.
We'd be all right if we weren't a pack of fools. We'd be all right if we weren't a pack of fools. And we'll all hang on behind. And we'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. And we'll all hang on behind.
Oh, a roll in the clover wouldn't do us any harm.
Oh, a roll in the clover wouldn't do us any harm. Oh, a roll in the clover wouldn't do us any harm. And we'll all hang on behind. And we'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. And we'll all hang on behind.
We'd be all right if your buggers all sing.
We'd be all right if your buggers all would sing. We'd be all right if your buggers all would sing. And we'll all hang on behind. And we'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. And we'll all hang on behind.
Why don't we introduce ourselves now?
Absolutely. At this point in a concert, we traditionally introduce ourselves, letting you know who we are and where we're from and how long we've been with Village Harmony. Starting with this fine person over here.
I'm Anna, I'm 17, I'm from Plymouth, Vermont, and this is my 8th Village Harmony session.
I'm Linnea, I'm 16, I'm from Woodstock, Vermont, and this is my 2nd session.
I'm Shara, I'm from Wilton, New Hampshire, and this is my 4th session.
I'm Caitlin, I'm 17, I'm from Colorado, and this is my 2nd session.
I'm Audrey, I'm 15, I'm from France, and this is my 3rd session.
I'm Lola, I'm 15, I'm from Portland, Oregon, and this is my 3rd session.
My name's Brendan Taff. I live in Vernon, Vermont, and I've been working with Village Harmony off and on since 2003.
I'm Larry. I'm from Marshfield, Vermont, and I started this fine organization 29 years ago, and I've been doing it ever since.
I'm Sach, I'm 14, I'm from Heath, Massachusetts, and this is my 1st session.
I'm Liam, I'm 16, I'm from Madison, Wisconsin, and this is my 1st Village Harmony session.
I'm Evie, I'm 18, I'm from Newton, Massachusetts, and this is my 7th Village Harmony session.
I'm Annabelle, I'm 17, I'm from Sharon, Vermont, and this is my 7th session.
I'm Kai, I'm 16, I'm from Hardwick, Vermont, and this is my 4th session.
I'm Claire, I'm 17, I'm from Stratford, Vermont, and this is my 4th session.
I'm Sophia, I'm 17, I'm from St. Helena, California, and this is my 1st session. I'm Lila, I'm 14, I'm from Hillsdale, New York, and this is my 2nd session.
I'm Heidi, I live in Plainfield, Vermont, and I've been working with the teens for 6 years, but I went to adult camps as a camper before that.
I'm Holly, I'm 14 years old, I come from Scituate, Rhode Island, and this is my 2nd session.
I'm Gabby, I'm from Newton, Massachusetts, I'm 18 years old, and this is my 1st Village Harmony session.
I'm Cricket, I'm from Montpelier, Vermont, I'm 18, and this is my 2nd Village Harmony session.
I'm Anna, I'm 17, I'm from St. Helena, California, and this is my 3rd session.
I'm Grace, I'm 17, I'm from Norwich, Vermont, and this is my 6th session.
I'm Christoph, I'm 14, I'm from Norwich, Vermont, and this is my 3rd session.
I'm Yuval, I'm 16, I'm from Newton, Massachusetts, and this is my 2nd session.
I'm Toby, I'm 16, I'm from Killington, Vermont, and this is my 2nd session.
I'm Sean, I'm 16, I live in New York, and this is my 5th session.
I'm Elias, I'm 18, I'm from Keene, New Hampshire, and this is my 1st session.
I'm Zach, I'm 16, I'm from Bridgewater, Vermont, and this is my 3rd session.
And we are Village Harmony.
Oh, baby low.
Baby low.
Great. This next song is a new arrangement that I made of an old American Shaker hymn called Lay Me Low.
Oisafete, we need to guide ourselves.
At the beginning of our rehearsal week, we had the opportunity to work with Tatiana Sarpinska, a fantastic singer and teacher from Bulgaria. And she taught us a number of things. We're going to perform for you a song from Bosnia called Oisafete. It's a bit of a love story. It begins with the girl asking Sayo from Sarajevo why he looks so forlorn and sad. And he responds, "How could I not feel sad? I have to look at your beautiful face all day." Which in the annal of pickup lines is maybe not the strongest one. But she responds, "Well, get with it, ask me out." And he says, "Come live with me and our song will resound." She says, "Yes."
Oisafete Sayo Saralio, Astosi se boran Sayo bio. Oisafete Sayo Saralio, Astosi se boran Sayo bio. Sapete di la bere, jau mi es por tebe. Sapete di la bere, jau mi es por tebe.
Kako ne bi bona komšinice, kad stalno ti gledam bijelo lice. Kako ne bi bona komšinice, kad stalno ti gledam bijelo lice.
Sarajko, djevojko, komšinice ljepojko. Sarajko, djevojko, komšinice ljepojko. Sani malo Sajo Saralio, a zašto si svoju ljubav krio? Sani malo Sajo Saralio, a zašto si svoju ljubav krio? Sapete di la bere, žao mi je zbog tebe. Sapete di la bere, žao mi je zbog tebe.
Odvešću te ko na dvoru spome, da u njemu naše pjesme zvone.
Sad ne vodi Sajo domu zvone, nek u njemu naše pjesme zvone. Savete di la bere, ovako mi se ne bere. Savete di la bere, ovako mi se ne bere.
We have one other song that we learned from Tatiana, and this one is a medley of songs from different villages in the Shop region of Bulgaria, where they're noted for their very fierce singing and singing that's outdoors and sometimes from mountaintop to mountaintop. And so this song goes through a number of different meters and a number of different harmonies in the different and puts together this medley.
Rasate se, Božurna
La Cambra.
Next, we have a song from the south of France. It's in Occitan, one of the original languages of the Mediterranean, and this arrangement comes from a group called Les Malcoiffés, and is a setting of a contemporary Occitan poem that paints a little picture. There is a woman in her bedroom looking at herself in the mirror, and she finds herself beautiful. There is a cat that yawns, and some flowers, some lilies, poke their head above the windowsill and laugh.
La Cambra es all'andado, la Cambra es all'andado, una fena che se despuglio, una fena che se despuglio, la Cambra es all'andado, la Cambra es all'andado, una fena che se despuglio, una fena che se despuglio, la Cambra es all'andado, la Cambra es all'andado, una fena che se despuglio, una fena che se despuglio, davano mira della mare, davano mira della mare, davano mira della mare, dumira della mare. La Cambra es all'andado, la Cambra es all'andado, una fena che se despuglio, una fena che se despuglio, la Cambra es all'andado, la Cambra es all'andado, una fena che se despuglio, una fena che se despuglio. So true we gotta be, true we gotta be, true we gotta be, true we gotta be, bello, bello, bello. Cambra es all'andado, la Cambra es all'andado, una fena che se despuglio, una fena che se despuglio, la Cambra es all'andado, la Cambra es all'andado, una fena che se despuglio, una fena che se despuglio. Unga, badai, badai, ba, unga, badai, badai, ba, unga, badai, badai, ba, unga, badai, badai, ba, unga, badai, oh. La Cambra es all'andado, la Cambra es all'andado, una fena che se despuglio, una fena che se despuglio, la Cambra es all'andado, la Cambra es all'andado, una fena che se despuglio, una fena che se despuglio. La cruz del liri muntunaras de la fenestro, la cruz del liri muntunaras de la fenestro, muntunaras de la fenestro, sì, Stefan Durire, sì, Stefan Durire, sì, Stefan Durire, sì, Stefan Durire, la la la, che se spuio, la la la, che se spuio, la la la, che se spuio, la la la, che se spuio. Davano mira della mari, davano mira della mari, davano mira della mari, dumira della mari, la la la, che se spuio, la la la, che se spuio, la la la, che se spuio, la la la, che se spuio. Davano mira della mari, davano mira della mari, davano mira della mari, dumira della mari. La Cambra es all'andado, la Cambra es all'andado, una fena che se despuglio, una fena che se despuglio, la Cambra es all'andado, la Cambra es all'andado, una fena che se despuglio, una fena che se despuglio. So true we gotta be, true we gotta be, true we gotta be, true we gotta be, bello, bello, bello.
Thank you so much. A couple more songs for you. This next song is a setting of a Langston Hughes poem called April Rain Song.
I love the rain, I love the rain, the rain, I love the rain, I love the rain. Oh, let the rain, I love the rain, you, I love the
All right.
How much time do we have left?
5 minutes, I think.
7 minutes.
7?
We could probably do one other song. What shall we do?
Would you not just want to talk a little bit about Village Harmony?
Well, we could do that. A little bit more background about Village Harmony. We, as I said at the beginning, we have quite a few of these camps. In fact, every summer we have about 10 or 11 different camps. We have 3 traveling teen sessions like this that meet throughout New England, and they are totally non-auditioned. Anybody can come sing. It's pretty self-selective. Get teens that like to sing 6 or 7 hours a day and then go touring around the countryside. But we also have camps for adults. We have a camp in Western Mass, and we have another camp out in Oregon for a week in the summer. But then we also have camps in various foreign countries. We've traveled a lot to South Africa and Corsica and Republic of Georgia and Bulgaria and Lithuania and Macedonia and other countries. And in those places we especially try to study the local singing traditions with teachers from those places. And it's a wonderful kind of cultural engagement and cultural exchange. Again, all of those camps are non-auditioned, first come, first served. If you feel like you want to spend that much time singing, we welcome you. And we operate with the philosophy that anything is possible, that we can get singers of all sorts of abilities and degrees of experience to really immerse themselves in these different kind of singing traditions and represent those traditions in a very honest and strong way. So we kind of pride ourselves in that. We have one more song.
Yeah, and if you want to know more about Village Harmony, about where the camps are happening, or when to catch a concert of one of the teen sessions, it's all up on the website, villageharmony.org.
Right.
And now we have one final song for you. This is another one that I composed. Because we had this wonderful opportunity to work with Tatiana Srbinska, the Bulgarian singing teacher I mentioned earlier, I thought it would be a nice connection to bring this song that I wrote using the melody of a traditional Bulgarian piece, Izgralya e Mesechinka. So the verse structure that you'll hear, really I just stole that melody from a Bulgarian song. But to superimpose an Isaac Watts text on top of that, which is very popular throughout the shape note tradition, so in a way it blends some of the different things we've been doing. It's called Like Stars, Our Bones Shall Fly.
Now shall my joys arise and burst into a song. Almighty love inspires my heart and pleasure tunes my tongue. God on his thirsty hills some mercy drops his throne, and solemn oaths abound his love to shower salvation down.
Like stars whose dust
like stars are rose to every shall fly. No more shall we indulge our fears, a song shall mount the sky. No more shall we indulge our fears, a song shall mount the sky.
Like stars whose dust are
like stars are rose to every shall fly. No more shall we indulge our fears, a song shall mount the sky. No more shall we indulge our fears, a song shall mount the sky.
Like stars, our bones shall fly, shall fly. Like stars, our bones shall fly, shall fly. Like
why do we then indulge our fears and our complaints? Is he a God, and shall his grace grow weary of his saints? Deep on both my hands I have engraved her name. My pen shall raise her ruined walls and build her broken frame.
like stars whose dust are
like stars arose to every star shall fly. No more shall we indulge our fears, a song shall mount the sky. No more shall we indulge our fears, a song shall mount the sky. Now shall my joys arise and burst into a song. Almighty love inspires my heart and pleasure tunes my tongue. Like stars whose dust is shaped, like stars our bones are every shall fly. No more shall we indulge our fears.
And this is one of the reasons why I love doing this show, because it's like such a great experience in having all of you. And I just really thank you for your effort. I know you're on tour, and I know you're tired and hot and all that stuff, but it was excellent. It was really great. So I wish you a great tour and keep singing. And I think it's a great experience. I wish I had had this when I was growing up.
Yeah, so do we all.
Right? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. They are the Village Harmony. You can look at the end of in the credits for all of their contact information. And if you hear them that they're going to be around, please go see them. And you have been watching Artist in New England, where I bring to you the vision of the artist whose vision has made an impact in the art world. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Wouldn't do us any harm.
Oh,